Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Michaela and I'm going to do today with you Alexia Cover Up Dress. This is so cool, such a nice dress. It's a cowl neck, a deep cowl neck dress. It's actually a cover up. I made it for a cover up dress, but actually can be worn also like a kind of like a dress to go out, right? Made obviously with different fabric. I'm making here with a mesh fabric, but of course you can totally make it from lycra fabric. It has about the same idea. So I'm going to present you first the pieces which I've got here. So this is my upper front piece, right? And you will see there's like kind of a longer part. Let me see if it fits all over my table. So it has like a longer part and then a kind of like a curvier part, right? And this will be, so for you to have an idea, this will be the deep cowl neck, right? These are the shoulders, these are the armholes. It has long sleeves. You can choose to do it without the sleeves. Obviously this is the side, and this bit will be attached to the skirt, right? This roundier bit, and you will understand soon why it's like that, right? So this is the upper piece, front upper piece, and then I've got the skirt bit. Let me just search it. So I'm not finding it. Yeah, here it is. I've got here the skirt bit. Obviously this part comes down after the upper piece. It's connected, they're connected together, right? It's a normal skirt and it will be ruched to the side. So cool. Then I've got the sleeves, right? I've got already the sleeves cut. Whoops. Like that, and they are like, I think they're called bell sleeves, right? I'm not sure what's the English name for it, but yeah, they have this really long ending, and I'm going to do a cool hem roll on them. I'm going to show you in a minute how I do that. That's the back piece. I've got here the back piece. So yeah, the back piece is quite simple, doesn't have anything interesting. This is the up and down, up till down, and then I've got the band to tie around. So I've got two pieces over here, and very important, I've got my elastic cut. So I'm doing the size S. So this longer elastic, I will be giving the measurement. It has 34 centimeters, right? And this will be attached to my upper front piece, right? And then I've got two shorter elastics, which I will be attaching them to my, obviously, to the side of my dress to ruche the dress to give this amazing look, right? So beautiful. So this, I've cut it on 23 centimeters each. So I've got them here. And actually, first things first, I'm going ahead to do a hem roll. So what is really cool about this skirt, right, is that you can actually do everything with your normal sew machine. I do have an overlock machine. I've got an industrial serger as well. So I prefer to do the hem roll, obviously, with my overlock. Let me just show you my settings. Really, I have everything on 4, since I'm using exactly the same thread for all the parts. And I've got here the most narrow width stitch, the most wide width stitch, sorry, and the stitch length actually is just a little bit over the tiniest stitch length, and the fresh feed is on max on 2. I did already the testing, so probably if you've seen any of my videos, you would know already how to do a hem roll. It's so easy, it's so nice. Like I said, if you don't have an overlock machine, you can always use your normal zigzag stitch on the normal sewing machine. So I'm doing the first stitches like normal, and then once I got a little bit of thread, I'm going to start pulling from the end and pulling from one other side, right? So by pulling both ways, you see it creates this really nice waving. But of course, since I'm working with mesh fabric, I have to be very attentive not to roll too much of my fabric, because pulling mesh makes it roll. So as you see, I'm pulling on one side, I'm pulling from here, and I'm pulling from here. I don't pull too hard, because like I said, mesh tends to overstretch. So perfect. I will do the other sleeve off camera, obviously, and then I will get out of the way this and I will cut my threads afterwards. Once I'm finished, I'll be back to show you the next steps. Okay, so I'm back, and next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take my longest elastic, the one of 34 centimeters. So you'll have to measure it once in a while that you don't forget which is which, right? And I'm going to go to my normal sew machine, and I will be having my stitch length on the highest, right, on 4. I hope you see good, right? And on the curvier side, right, on the curvier side, I'm going to place the elastic on top of it, and the idea is to do a straight stitch and pull at max the elastic, right? Because the elastic is exactly the same size as your lower part of your dress, like the skirt part, right? And whenever I pull elastic, I make sure that my needle is positioned down, right? And I'm pulling as much as I can, but I go slow. And in the same time, with my other hand, I'm guiding the fabric away. And once in a while, I'm going to check my elastic, if I still have enough, if I still have to pull, which I do. Still a long bit to go. And yeah, whenever you're pulling elastic, whenever you are pulling elastic, you see I'm measuring like that. Whenever you're pulling elastic, you have to take care that it doesn't go away. Like in my case here right now. So when you're getting to the end, like if you get a little bit over, really not a problem. You just trim it off. Right, and I'm going to try to do this bit because I don't want that it's loose, right? So I'm gonna go over just one stitch or two. Like that. Okay. So look at this, how beautiful it ruched. In case you have like a little thingy like I did right now, you can just trim it off be careful that you're not trimming onto your rest of your fabric. All right, so now my upper front piece should match perfectly with my skirt, right? And I'm placing it like this so it's easy for you to see, right? The how it would go, right? So you understand the cowl neck, right? And I'm gonna take my skirt, right? And I'm going to pin. So as you know, probably mesh doesn't really have a good side and a bad side, right? And you can actually choose, well, unless it's a printed fabric, right? But it does not have, but in this case I am going to place like on the right side, right? Since on this I've serged the elastic, I've stitched the elastic, so I'm going to place it on top of it, and I'm going to turn it so it's easier for you to see what I'm doing. So I always like to start from my endings. I pin, since obviously pinning needles into mesh, it's not a valid option, let's call it like that. I'm using these cute pins over here. And the cool thing is, like, in case you have like a little bit of the fabric a little bit longer, right, you can always stretch a little bit the elastic and then they'll fit perfect, right? This is the idea. So now I am actually going to my serger, but in case you don't have a serger, you can always use your zigzag stitch on your sew machine, right? And you will make the same effect. I'm obviously using my sergers for the easiness of it, and since it's an industrial, it's a little faster than a lot of sew machines. So I'm just serging over it, and I'm being really careful. I don't go very, very fast. I'm really careful that I'm not serging over the elastic, and that I'm obviously serging over both parts of my fabric, right? And I'm going to pull a little bit my fabric that it fits perfectly together. And here it is, my front piece and my back piece connected together, right? We want this beautiful ruching, right, like that around the waist. So beautiful. Okay, so we've got already the front piece, and what I'm going to do next, I'm going to, it's not necessarily, but I really like to top stitch my my edges, right? So I'm gonna use my normal sew machine, right? And this time you will have a good side and a wrong side, right? So you will have a right side. So I'm taking care of this, right? I'm paying attention. So I will be taking my fabric and I'm folding it inside about 1 centimeter, not too much. And I'm going with my zigzag stitch, not a big stitch, about 3.5 length and width, right? Also, if you wish, you can just do normal a normal stitch, since this actually does not need any elasticity, right? You don't need to have an elasticity, so you can do a normal stitch, absolutely no problem. I prefer a zigzag stitch, it's so much easier. doing lots of zigzag stitches. So yeah, as you see, I'm just folding it inside just tiny bit. So since this piece is quite long, I'm going to do the rest off camera. Once I'm done, I'll be back and I'll show you the next steps. Okay, so I've done the top stitching for my cowl neck bead, right? So this is my whole front piece, right? This will come in front like that, right? Will be hanging just like this, right? And I'm going to put it aside. And next, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my side bands, which are actually optional, I want to say. So I fold it in two, right? And I'm going to pin and serge all over for both of them, serge all along the bead on the length, right? Like that. And I want to say pinning is really important when it comes to mesh, because mesh, as it's very elastic, can move very quickly, right? So I'm going ahead straight to my serger, and I'm going to start with the end, right? And I'm going to place it underneath. And I want to make sure that nothing is like gathering, right? And then I'm gonna go and do all under all along. Right. Okay, so next thing, I'm going to turn it on the right side of the fabric, and I'm going to use my loop turner. You've probably seen this in any of my videos. Such a useful tool, really. Who invented it has a place in heaven. So I'm gonna gather a little bit and I'm gonna turn it. Literally so easy, so fast. So I'm turning it on the right side, right? And if you want, you can give a little press on it if it doesn't stay really straight, right? I'm gonna give it a little stretch. So now I'm gonna take my front piece, right? And I'm gonna make sure that I'm facing the right side towards me, right? And I'm going to place my band on top, right in the middle, in between the two stitches, and I'm going to attach it to my front piece like that. Just a simple straight stitch, well, a little bit going back and forth. All right, and I'm going to do the same thing to my other part. Whoopsie. So the same, I'm placing it over. Right in the All right, so now the next thing will be attaching my front piece with my back piece through the shoulder sides. So I'm going to place like that my front piece up so you can see very good my shoulders, right? And it's facing the right side of the fabric. Okay, and I've got here the shoulders, right? And I've got my back piece here. And I'm going to place it over, right? And I'm going to pin the shoulders areas like this. And actually, wait, I'm going to do first to the neck here as well, top stitch. So sorry, I've realized what I'm stitching. I forgot this step. All right, so I'm going to do a top stitch here. It's easier to fold it towards me. Like that. So it's a little bit tricky when it goes like in a kind of a semicircle, so you have to go slow. Alrighty. Almost done. Okay, so now I'm placing my back piece on top of my front piece, and I will be matching the right sides together. Right here are the shoulders, yeah, and I will be pinning, and then I'm going straight to my serge machine, or you can just do a straight stitch over. It's also good. Does not need to have any kind of stretch. I've got this piece a little bigger. Alrighty. So yes, this straight stitch at the shoulder does not need to have any stretch, so it doesn't really matter whether you're going to do a straight stitch or a serge. Obviously, everybody's is preferring to serge it. Why? Because it's a double stitch. Well, at least in my case, I'm always using 2 needles. All right, I'm gonna take the other side. And if you're serging, whenever I'm connecting 2 pieces together like this, this top stitching at the front and at the back actually could have been done also in one single motion, back and front. I forgot about it, so I did them separately. But yeah, in case you do it like me, which you probably do since you're watching my video, what I would recommend you to do is I'm just folding it inside like this, so that my stitch doesn't, my serger stitch does not come unravel. I'm going to do a straight stitch over. Like this. Like that. And now I can cut the ends, and I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So aesthetically this also looks so much better, right? But if you've serged it, the stitches can actually come unraveled. So this is a good way of securing it, right? Okay. So now I've got my front piece connected with my back piece, but just in the shoulders. And the next thing will be, and I'm going to show you just one side because obviously everything is mirrored, right? I'm going to connect my sleeves, right? So do not forget that now you have a front piece, like a front side and the wrong side, right? And I'm going to take a sleeve. Okay. And I'm going to place it over. Going to place it over, and I'm going to pin all around this kind of, how you would call it, this the circle of the sleeve, right? So this would be my upper part of my sleeve, right? This semicircle, right? This bit, this curved bit, right? So I'm going to pin it, right, like this in my semicircle. And a good way actually to know that you're pinning right, you can start from the middle of your sleeve. I actually forgot this, but I am going to do this. So what do I mean by the middle of the sleeve? As you probably noticed, right? The sleeve has a has a center. These sleeves are obviously the same back and front, right? And this is my center of my sleeve, which will match with the center of my dress. Because now it's not only the front bit, it's also the back bit. All right. And I'm going to pin it having this pinpoint, let's call it like that. All right. I'm going to match the ends. All right, so here I'm going back to my serger, and I'm going to serge it. As you see, I'm actually placing the right side on top of the right side, although the sleeve doesn't really have a right side, but I wanted to emphasize the fact that the rest of the dress now has a right side. So I'm serging it. okay. I'm just checking that my tension is not too tight. Okay, so now we've got half sleeve attached, right? And as you can see, it starts to take shape. Yeah, we're working just on one side, right? So this is my back piece and this is the front piece, right? And next I'm going to connect the skirt and the sleeve all together in one very, very long stitch, right? Like this. So it's going to take me a while, right? But I'm going to pin the skirt, the front piece and the back piece together and all the rest of the sleeve, okay? Since you know already what I'm going to do, I'm going to do it off camera. So I'm practically just pinning my front part of the skirt, the side of my skirt, right? So like that. And this is my sleeve over here. So I'm pinning all along and all along. And then, of course, I'm going to serge it. I'll be back once I'm done to show you the next step. Okay, so I've pinned all along my sleeve and all along the side of my skirt. And now I'm going ahead to my serger. You can obviously use the zigzag stitch if you don't have a serger. And I'm going to serge it, and like I said, I'm going quite slow because mesh fabric can be quite tricky. I don't want to overstretch and the pins are weighing down. But yeah, this project is so cool and actually so fast. I'm pretty sure with cutting and practically stitching you'll be done in under an hour. All right, a little more. And here I'm on the middle side where I am making sure that I'm serging over my my band as well. All right. So one side is completely done. We have only a little bit left, actually, just the ruching to the side. But of course, I'm going to do the other side off camera, this bit. Once I'm done, I'll come back to show you the ruching. Okay, so my dress is almost finished. Only two things to do. I'm going to show you one off camera, the other one I'm going to show you one on camera, the other one off camera. The one I'm not going to show you off camera is the folding inside and top stitching the bottom part of your dress. That I'm not going to show you because you know already how to do it. And what I'm going to show you on the camera, I'm going to show you how to ruche the skirt. So I've got here my 23 centimeters elastic, and I'm going to feel right here is my my center of my skirt. So the 23 centimeters pulled on max on the elastic, it's actually ruching the whole skirt, right? But of course, this is really optional. You can really choose how much you want to ruche the skirt, right? If you want to have a mini skirt, then I actually recommend you to pull on max. If you want to have it with a little bit of longer length, then you just do less, and that's it. And that's your option, your choice. So as you see, I'm doing the same straight stitch like I did before. And when I get here, I leave a little bit of a margin in order to fold inside and do my top stitching, right? And look how beautiful it ruched. So I'm going to turn it now. So we did this on the wrong side of the fabric, right? Obviously, this is going to be top stitched after. So I'm going to turn it on my right side. And oh my God, I'm so excited. I already have plans for it, on where to wear it. Where's my other sleeve? Alrighty. So my straps. I'm looking at it, right? I'm looking at it, and look how beautiful looks the ruching, right? To the sides, making it really mini. So I'm going to do the other side off camera, and then I'm going to fold it inside and do the top stitching. And yes, this is your project. Such chic dress, such a beautiful one. Like I said, if you choose to do it with lycra fabric, it's really cool dress to go out. Like, I'm thinking over it. So if you have any questions, please let me know. I'm always happy to help you. And if not, I wish you happy sewing.